Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Jack Oates to go. You either know or you don't. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Jack Oates to. Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Jack Oates to go. Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Jack Oates to go. You either know or you don't. I guess this is gonna fall under like a Jack Clover sort of thing. I just want to put a few ideas out there, considering what is going on currently in the story, and this will contain some spoilers from this the chapter that's going to come out on Sunday. So if you're not looking to get spoiled, click off now. Other than that, I'm not going to feel bad for you when you hit the comment section being like, why did you spoil me? All right, that's it. So anyway, we have Captains versus Lucifero. It's a pretty clear fight, to say the least. Lucifero is absolutely just stomping on every single captain that we know and love, right? Doesn't matter whose team you on. Fuegolian for Wizard King, Nozel for Wizard King. They're both down and out. So here's the thing. People hate this death mongering for Black Clover. And if you're one of those people, you might hate what I have to bring to the table. I think a story like this needs deaths. I think Tabata would be doing his story a disservice as far as what he's introduced, as far as occult lore, Greek and Norse lore, all that stuff, to not include some type of real death. Now, we do have to consider that this is also shonen, so this is geared towards a younger audience. And a lot of younger audiences don't like this staple of consequences, and the reason being is that we're kind of conditioned to believe in every story ends happily ever after, and that's just kind of not it. So I guess it's more my cynical side that I kind of appreciate these things, because what happens is it really drives certain characters, whether that be main characters or side characters, to grow from the pains of that kind of struggle. So that's what I'm really looking for. And so to get into this, this fight is not looking good, to say the least. They have a zero chance to win against Lucifero without Asta. Now, with that said, the only reason why these guys are even able to fight at all is because of Rill's spell, Twilight of Valhalla, which is keeping them, relatively uninjured. It seems as though it just kind of numbs the pain, and they keep fighting. But once that spell is up, of course, all of that piles on at once, and they'll die if their injuries are fatal enough. So here's the thing. Lucifero just dispelled Rill's Twilight of Valhalla with Fuegolian's face. So they're going to die. Most of the captains will die. I don't think there's some of them that haven't taken any serious hits. And what's very interesting is that these are some of the same characters that are seen in the first chapter with Julius. Like Charlotte hasn't received a really crazy blow from Lucifero. Who else is there? Jack hasn't really got a crazy blow from him. He got one punch in the first encounter. Who else is also there? Fuegolian is there. Fuegolian has taken some hits, but I don't find them to be brutal enough to warrant a death from him. But those are the only captains that I can remember off the top of my head that are behind Julius, and they don't look very happy with what happened. They seem Charlotte and Fuegolian, namely, seem kind of sad about whatever just happened, like they're hiding something. while Julius looks kind of evil. And I've kind of put a theory out there already explaining why that happened. And yes, I do believe that that was kind of a foreshadowing to events that are happening now. So at the very end, they will escape, but not with all the captains. Um, and they'll come back with the ones shown there. And then we do have that mystery cloaked guy with the eyes on his cloak. We still don't quite know where that person is from and what that insignia means, not yet. So this could get really interesting. Now, with this said, what is going to happen in this fight? What causes them to more or less win out? And I think we have a couple of options here. Regardless, the captains are going to die. Uh, but we do have some key players that can keep them in the fight. Okay. So we have members of this Spade Assault team that have not been shown at all since the beginning, namely Voltos, Roddy's, and Sally. And just by saying their names, I hope you can see where I'm going with this. This is probably the most immediate and best bet. Is that Roddy's comes up on some very valuable corpses to modify and also use Sally to modify them as well to put them back in this fight and be more effective against Lucifero. Now, with his Wraith magic, I'm not sure if this inherently means that if he uses them, they're considered arcane, but I'm sure with some tampering from at least Sally, this can help them kind of heighten their odds alongside Asta fighting with them. Uh, I think it's a cool idea, and it's a kind of last hoorah for these guys. And it kind of falls into Roddy's whole scheme where he has this hatred for not really just royals and nobles, but just people in general, as we saw in the elf arc, was that people disowned him because of his magic. They thought it was creepy and weird, and that's something Yami put us on game to immediately in chapter 2. As he's talking to Asta, he tells him people will not like you because of the origin of your magic. If they can't explain it, if it's weird, they will disown you completely. And that's what they did to Roddy's. That's what they did to Sally and Voltos. This is just the nature of the world that they live in. So it kind of fits this kind of revenge thing where he now has all of the strongest people and probably some of the people that were around when he was disowned, maybe not as captains at the time, but they would have been fighting alongside him in the Knights. And and then to use it for the ultimate good kind of gives us this duality that we do see in Roddy's, where at the end of well, let's go back when Padre sacrifices them for the reincarnation spell. We see Roddy's in his ultimate wrath uh, want to get revenge on Padre, and he's then is ultimately fighting for the betterment of the people, but for his own ends. And then at the very end of the Elf arc, we have Roddy's in a more solemn tone towards Patri, essentially wanting to still be his friend and kind of forgiving him, but in his own way. So I feel like him taking these captains in once they die and using them as corpses, whatever that process looks like, uh, might benefit this fight, and then in the end give us the kind of deaths that us deathmongers have been wanting this entire Spade arc. Now, another option here is also the Witch Queen. Now, this I feel like this is more of a stretch than anything because we have got zero uh, inclinations that the Witch Queen is even coming, even along with Mars and Ladros. Like, we've got nothing about them. And at this point, we kind of have to assume that something happened to them because this is a fight that that matters. The entire world will end if this gets too out of control. And there's no sign of them. So in my head, something had to have happened to them, and there's no real reason why they're late to this. It's it's been going on for quite a while, especially the Witch Queen, knowing that the Witch's Forest is literally on the border of the Spade Kingdom. There's zero reason why she's not here. Unless she's aligning with the devils, which is entirely possible. I've got videos here telling us that she's more than likely linked to Baal, and she could be aligning with the other side. Who knows? But that the option that the witch queen comes will just entail that she can heal them via blood cocoon, uh, unlimit their power. She could potentially even not heal Charlotte. Not that she really needs it now. But I mean, she could do what she did for us and kind of take off those limiters that the curse puts on her. Not to say that Charlotte's going to be the end game like hero here, but there are definite possibilities that the Witch Queen could bring to the table that could help them in this fight against Lucifero. Whether that it'll be enough on its own, more than likely not. I think there's going to be more on Yuno and Asta, but more so Yuno in this fight against Lucifero because of all the things I explained in the other videos, talking about how Yuno and Lucifer are ultimately connected, and this advent is for Yuno and Lucifer because they are essentially one and the same, if not just Yuno being Lucifer's perfect vessel. Um, but yeah, I kind of just wanted to put that out there. I think it'd be really interesting to not only get the deaths, but also bring in the Eye of the Midnight Sun to help out Austin, and it would kind of bring together this scattered painting that we had in the Elf arc of the Eye of the Midnight Sun versus Asta and Yami, um, and then the captains at the end with Raya and Fauna and Veto protecting Patri, um, coming all together on one battlefield. And I would love it if the elves finally came down. We're still not sure what they're doing, and this was something I also put out. The elves could potentially be setting up for a large scale attack. As I pointed out, that the elves that are missing, Fauna, Raya, and Veto, are on the Pillar of Severity on the Tree of Life, which is the iron fist of God. Essentially, this is where someone would get smited if he got on the bad side. Um, so it could be something like that, or they could be opening up a door to the light tree to bring in a force that is strong enough to fight this threat, Lucifero. I've also got some thoughts on this Lucifero. This Belphegor thing has not died because people are just overlooking like some pretty obvious signs here. I feel like and like I said in the last video, I tend to make things really convoluted, but I don't think this is far out of reach for anyone to understand. But anyway, this has gone on more than long enough. Let me know what you guys think. How would you guys want to see Rades and the Eye of the Midnight Sun in general involved in this fight, along with Patri and the elves? I think Patri could bring a lot to the table, and Tabata hasn't used him for some reason, because he should have his demon light magic still and his own light magic. And I honestly want to see what's up with his Grimoire situation. I'm very curious to see um, what's going on with that. But anyway, let's stop it here. This has been Jack Oates to Go. Thank you guys for tuning in. You either know or you don't.